Before the Dallas rap scene ever got a national spotlight, a different kind of code was being written on the North Side. This wasn't about industry handshakes or radio spins. It was about apartment complex legends, trunk hustlers, and neighborhood myths. This is the story of how Mr. Pookie and Mr. Lucci became the underground heartbeat of Dallas, one burned CD at a time. It all starts with two different kids, from two different years, who ended up in the same city. Brian Jones, who the world would know as Mr. Pookie, was born in 1978 and raised in North Dallas. He wasn't born into the industry. He was born into reality. After getting kicked out of high school, he started pouring all that frustration into writing rhymes. A few years later, Jaron Gibson, or Mr. Lucci, was born. The son of a preacher, he learned early what it meant to live between spirit and struggle. When his father passed, his family moved to Dallas, where his path was about to collide with Pookie's. Before they were a duo, there was a crew, Stoney Crook. They were named after the rough Stony Brook apartments on Adelia Road where Pookie and his friends lived and rapped. Pookie got his first real look in 1998, featuring on an album by another Dallas rapper, K-Rock. His gritty voice and laid-back flow immediately made him a local standout. Around the same time, a 15-year-old Mr. Lucci entered the picture. He was a young prodigy with a sharp pen and a technical flow that was well beyond his years. He was about to become the other half of Dallas's most infamous street duo. In late 1999, Mr. Pookie dropped his debut album, The Ripla, an independent release that would change everything. This is where the duo was truly born on wax. The album featured a then-unknown 15-year-old Mr. Lucci on several tracks. Songs like Crook for Life and Smoke One became instant anthems in Dallas, especially on the North Side. Here's the crazy part. The Ripla became the biggest-selling independent rap album from Dallas, moving over 90,000 units. This was before streaming, mostly sold hand-to-hand and through small regional stores. It proved you didn't need a major label if you had a neighborhood, a car trunk, and a classic. 2 years later, in 2001, it was Lucci's turn. He released his debut album, Diabolical. Pookie returned the favor, appearing on multiple songs. Tracks like the title track and the weed anthem, Gettin' High, helped the album move over 50,000 copies independently. By now, their dynamic was clear. Pookie was the older, established North Dallas voice. Lucci was the young, razor-sharp lyricist, hungry and technical. Together, they were writing the North Dallas chapter of Southern rap history. But success often brings conflict. Behind the scenes, both Pookie and Lucci were having bitter disputes with their label owner over royalties and payments. So, they decided to leave and build their own thing. That's when Crawl 2 Ball Records was born. They weren't just rappers anymore. They were owners, distributors, and walking record stores. This grind became legendary in 2003 with the release of their double-disc album, My Life. They pressed a regular version and a chopped and screwed version, and then they hit the road. They sold CDs from the trunks of their cars, driving from city to city. They personally delivered copies to mom-and-pop record stores across Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. This hustle moved over 40,000 units and landed them at number 59 on Billboard S&B Hip Hop Albums chart. For two independent artists with no major backing, that was proof that the independent grind was more powerful than any industry cosign. Their reputation grew, and soon they were collaborating with Southern heavyweights like Paul Wall. In 2006, Pookie dropped Return of Ta Ripla, and the lead single, Don't Test Us, featuring Lucci, hit multiple Billboard sales charts. They were everywhere, on mixtapes, on compilations, cementing their status as underground kings. Both artists continued to drop solo projects, but they always represented the Stoney Crook movement. Around 2012, their paths started to diverge. Pookie and Lucci agreed to a business separation. Lucci branched out to start his own label, Star City Music Group, while Pookie kept Stoney Crook Records. Then, in 2016, real life hit hard. Mr. Lucci turned himself in on federal drug charges, beginning a prison sentence that put his career on pause. But even as the music industry changed, the legacy of the Crooks refused to fade. Pookie continued to release music, transitioning into his role as a father, grandfather, and living Dallas legend. He's still recognized as the #1 independent-selling artist in Dallas history. Mr. Lucci remains stamped in time as the young prodigy who turned a feature spot into a long, respected career. Long before independent hustle became a trendy phrase, Mr. Pookie and Mr. Lucci were the blueprint. They proved you could build a label from an apartment complex and chart on Billboard from the trunk of your car. They put North Dallas on the rap map with nothing but burned CDs, word of mouth, and an unbreakable code. They didn't follow the algorithm, they created it. Their story is the story of Dallas rap in its rawest form. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into music history.